Okay, now let's create an enemy in the game to make it a little bit more challenging. Let's go to enemies in the art pack. I think the blocker mad looks like a good image to use. So let's drag that into our scene, or let's drag that into our project. And just going to make it a little bit bigger. Okay, now this little guy is in our scene. Just move it. So this is kind of common. I'm trying to move this, but I can't, right? And if you notice that I can see the mesh of this sprite, but I can't see the 4 control points. And that's because I've collapsed the sprite renderer. See, if I open it, the controls will show up and I can drag it around, I can rotate it again. So if you are having trouble finding some of the handles, remember to open the components. Okay, so I'm going to put this guy here. I might move the rock object out of the way for now. Okay. Okay, so I want the enemies to have a box collider and also a rigid body. I want it to be a little bit heavier, right? So I'll give it a mass of 10. Okay, now let's create some movement for this enemy character. Let's go to Add Component, Playmaker, State Machine. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to jump left and then right and then left and then right, just sort of keep jumping back and forth. So I'm going to start with jump left state, and we're going to simply add force to this character. -1000 and 3000 the Y, and let's run this and see what happens. So it should be adding a -1000 force on X, which goes to the left, and then Y goes to the top. So it sort of had this little jump. So that's good. Now I'm gonna create another state, and this is going to be jump right. And I'm just going to copy this, paste it here. The only thing I want to change is on the x-axis, I want it to be a positive number, so it's going to the right. And let's add a wait action to the jump left state. So I want to say after 3 seconds, it's going to go to jump right. And then let's add the finish transition. And same thing here. I'm just going to copy the wait action here, add a finish state, go back. Make sure that the finish event is the finished transition. Just for testing, let's change that to 1. Oh, forgot to hook up the transition here. Okay, let's see. So I think, as you can see, that the object is jumping and it's reacting to the physics world. And you can see that it's doing this weird thing in midair, and that's because we're not doing a ground check before it goes to the next state. So what's happening right now is before the object lands on the ground, it's it takes longer than 1 second for it to finish this transition. So now it's got this kind of funny looking movement, which is kind of cool actually. So I don't mind it too much. But then we have a little character that sort of moves around.